Kristen, welcome to the lobby.
Hi,
We're so glad that you're here. Yes. So I'm super excited to talk about your roles. You're coming in with wearing two hats, like immediately.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen very often. Usually we kind of grow into the multiple hats that we wear, but you're just coming in with both of them. So let's do this. Let's go to the very beginning because I've known you for many years. It's a treasure to know you, by the way. But we want to talk just about who you are. So tell us a little bit about yourself, first and foremost.
Yeah. My name's Kristen, and I am a single mom of 3 boys. Lawson is going to be a sophomore in high school here in Malala. Colton will be an 8th grader, and Bridger will be a 7th grader out at Country Christian. And so I'm excited to, we're new to the Country Christian community, so to be here in Malala and Country Christian and getting to know things. And I also started back to school in January.
Yeah. So exciting. We're going to talk more about that shortly because you have a lot going on in your life and it is amazing to see what God is doing. So with your 2 roles, we mentioned this. So let's talk briefly. We don't have time to go into depth into both today. But what is your vision for the living room? We've been talking about that here in the lobby for a very long time. Dale even mentioned it in the first service. I hope he mentions it again in second service, like just sort of the vision for that and what's going on. But what is your vision as you start that new role?
Yeah, my vision is relationships. I cannot wait to see people of all ages and stages of life just gathering in that space and building community right here in our church.
I love that. Yeah. So I hear when you say that, I hear a core value of our church, which is loving people recklessly, and that was built on relationships, the core value of that. And I also adore that you mentioned all ages. Because when I think about and when I've been praying for the Living Room Project, that's what I see in there is multiple generations coming together. I love seniors, as most everybody knows, but seeing kids and seniors together and come together in community where we can glean from the wisdom of those that are older from us, I just adore that. So that's an exciting vision. Very exciting. So in addition to that, your main role, what you're really, really busy with right now is the FSM role. Right. So do you want to talk a little bit about that and kind of your journey of how God brought you here?
Sure. Yeah, we are gearing up to launch all sorts of student ministries, and I couldn't be more excited. Yeah, God kind of had me on a wild path the last 5 years. I didn't plan on finding myself as a single mom and, needing to provide for my boys. And I didn't do well listening to him for a while. He really started nudging me back to school. I had my juvenile corrections degree, and but I spent most of my mommyhood as a stay-at-home mom, and so I just kind of needed to figure out what God wanted me to do. And I wasn't listening because going back to school was not what I wanted to do. That was not part of my plan, as Dale talks about today. So finally I decided to be obedient and listen, and got myself back into school, and I'm taking courses to become an adolescent counselor, which is going to play just amazingly into my role here on staff working with FSM.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Your timeline and your journey is probably one that many of us can relate to, even though we have vastly different stories. But often what gets us to this place, and I hear surrender, like I surrendered and went back to school. I didn't want to for a long time. I hear that in your story. But I want to know the heart. Like you have such a heart for the youth, and I want to go a little deeper into that. So can you just tell us about that?
Absolutely. I think as adults, we often, we are teaching our children, we're guiding our children, we are talking to them, and my heart is to hear from them and to hear and empower them to use their voices, and so within the student ministries, just building into these young people who, it sounds cliche, but they are our future. We hear that, but we need to take it very seriously. And just build into that relationally with them and build them up.
Yep. I think for me, it's been more like that has been more present in my mind, that like they are our future generations. They are going to be our future leaders, so to speak. And yes, we hear those things a lot, but with the ongoings, and Dale alludes to this in the message today too, of the last 18 months, knowing the significance of what they're learning, who's surrounding them, like it makes me really excited. I feel like, and I said it in first service, like there is just such Holy Spirit like fire around FSM right now. It
Yeah.
just gets me really excited for the future. So that's exciting.
Me too.
Well, there's a few like tangible things that people can attend and participate in. So let's just hit on those briefly. You have an upcoming event next Sunday, which everybody's really excited about.
Yeah.
So let's share about that one more time.
Sure. Yeah. Next Sunday we're gonna be over in the FSM space between services. Come meet us. Come. Pastor Kurt will be there and other volunteers. And we're advertising it for incoming 6th graders, but anybody's welcome. You know, you may be new to our church and come see the space, come meet us, and parents, students. Often it can be nerve-wracking, right? Like especially for either parents where this is your first kiddo going into FSM, or for just those 6th graders, or even returning students. And come meet us, hang out, have a donut.
I love that. Donuts. You can't pass those by. Like
The way to middle schoolers.
there
is
you
through
go.
their stomachs.
Yes. Donuts. Love it. So in addition, there's an event coming up in September that you guys are partnering with Country. And can you talk about that a little bit?
Sure. So on September 25th, that is a event that Country Church has been doing for years. It's awesome. And I'll be volunteering there 4 to 10 on the 25th of September.
How exciting. So lots of really exciting things to look forward to. I'm excited for your role. It is a gift to be with you today here in the lobby, but it's also a gift that you're back with our kids. And so thank you for that. I'm so excited for what the future holds for FSM. Thanks for joining us today. Yes.